Have you ever noticed that the Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth was actually quite Lithuanian? I certainly did, and despite Poland being the kingdom in charge of the Union, I think that the Lithuanians deserve some credit for their part in the relationship. And it just so happens that EU4 has an achievement for just this occasion, the Uncommonwealth. Here are the requirements. Not too bad, just need a couple of key provinces, and obviously that includes eating a lot of Poland, Mazovia, and the Teutons, but it shouldn't be too bad. I think it's going to be a pretty fun run. I think it's going to be a pretty easy run. As far as opening moves, we have quite a few options here. Take a look at Poland. They are rival to the Teutons, Bohemia. So Bohemia is definitely a smart move for us because we are definitely not going to be allying Poland. We are going to be looking for a war early with Poland. I don't see any requirement about faith. What do you guys say we do it as an Orthodox nation? I think that would be pretty fun. Very important. Poland, I want you guys to know something. Poland needs to accept the fact that they suck and we hate them. Very important. Very important. Look at that beefy force limit, 33,000. I think we can manage that. That's going to be expensive, but we start off with 8 cavalry. I think we probably want to shuffle that around a little bit, maybe go down to 6 and then spread the rest out with infantry. I did not realize that we actually got a semi-custom mission tree here. So we get the Polish accession, which gives us some claims on these guys since they decided to appoint a local noble, which is fine with us. This would be actually a great subject to have, and we can subjugate them day 1. So that is great because we can attack them. As soon as our truce is over, we can humiliate these guys, separate piece them. Okay, yep, I think that's the move. Pretty straightforward. All we needed to do was put a missionary on this, let the rebels at least appear, and they will appear if you don't have any separatism. And just like that, Orthodox is now our state religion. Don't even need rebels. We could have used rebels to do it, but it's not necessary. I think it's fine. And now you can see most of our country is already the appropriate religion. So we'll just have to convert the Catholic provinces and all is well. Not too bad. Kovacs, huh? I don't think I've ever seen this name here before in Hungary. Moldavia decided to go with Poland. Not ideal, but that's okay. I mean, them not getting us as a PU is already like a huge issue for them. As far as their strength goes, we have much more men than they do. Remember, we have them surrounded on all sides. So as soon as we're able to, we're going to attack them. And we're working on some claims right now. So there's no reason for us not to just, get to war with them sooner rather than later. I don't think there's any time quite like the present. I say we get to war. We have plenty of men down here, so we might as well just spread them out on their border, get ready to go to war, attack, and take as much clay over here as possible. And then what we can do is switch our focus and get a vassal up here in Livonia. I think a vassal in Livonia is going to be super useful because they may not be necessarily super strong, but they're a huge vassal. I mean, look how large they are just border wise. Obviously their provinces are pretty big, but I think it's still going to be anytime we can expand our borders without too much hassle, it's worth doing. We can promise Bohemia land. I think I will do that and click the button. Off to war we go. Not quite the way that it happened in real life, but we'll do what we can here. Come on up here and siege down my favorite province in the game, Plock. And Plock is how it's pronounced. Ask any Pole, they're going to tell you Plock is how you pronounce this province in the game. Right next to Rawa, Wisna, Warsawa. That's how you pronounce Polish words, I'm pretty sure. We got an air 341. Not the best, not the worst. I'll take it. We'll allow it. Ideally, we get some more mill mana there, but it is what it is. Meanwhile, we're just going to come through here and start wiping out as many of their troops as possible. And they didn't win the 28, so we'll get in on here and hopefully wipe this stack here. No general. Well, not quite, but yeah, you can see they've taken quite a heavy losses. We've taken quite a bit, but I don't think it's going to be much of an issue considering the fact that we have them almost full occupied now. Bohemia being an absolute Chad, fighting war on our behalf while Prague gets sieged down by rebels. So generally we take shots on my main channel, Chewy Shoot, which you should follow if you don't follow it already. But we usually take shots whenever Prague gets sieged down, but usually that's when we do it. But if a rebel sieges it down, I guess you can still do it. So if you're of legal drinking age, go ahead and throw one back for Prague. And if you're not of legal drinking age, you drink milk because you're a baby. And that's okay. Costs us a bit of Diplo, but I think this is a great peace deal. We're going to take 3 provinces from them, give 2 to them. That way they will stay happy with us and we can use them to beat up on Poland again. We'll end up needing to turn on them at a later date, but it shouldn't be a huge issue for now. And we will take Moldavia from them as a vassal. So it costs us 88 Diplo. It's okay. 131 admin. Totally fine. I'm going to immediately march these guys back up just like they were before. And since we have some more borders with them, we might as well get some more claims on them. Our truce to these guys is up as well. So I think it's about time we head to war. So I'm going to send these guys over here just to make sure that they are preventing any uprising if we can avoid it. And one thing I think would be best is if we immediately just go with the icon of St. Michael. Gives us a little bit of manpower recovery, gives us a little bit of discipline to help minimize our losses in the war. I think that's the way to do it. All right, we're going to attack these guys. We will not co-belligerent anybody. We will separate piece these guys out for a humiliate and probably for money as well, because we're going to need it. We're going to call in these guys, so clearly we have the upper hand for that. It doesn't matter what we call for the war goal. I'll let Muscovy handle them in their entirety. And you can just click this no objective button here and then have Muscovy handle them. And then I will send my boys down here and we can very quickly handle them. Yeah, and by the way, I don't think I actually even mentioned it, but I did ally. I got an alliance offer from Muscovy, so might as well take them. We don't plan to go that way. We definitely just want to focus on this. So, all right, we have the Teutons full occupied minus their capital, which is occupied by those guys. Doesn't matter to me a whole lot. What I'd like to do is get war reps from them as well. So we're just going to wait until their war exhaustion goes up, and they will also give us plenty of money. So we'll get 41 ducats, not bad. Humiliate them, which is going to give us big PP. If you have over 50, you can see down here at the bottom, it says +1 of each type of mana. So pretty useful. We will vassalize them, take all their money, spend some Diplo. That's fine with me. We now have 2 subjects, and we're looking pretty good. 2 subjects and a lot of allies, but we can now make sure that we do the strong duchies, because if you have at least 2 subjects, might as well do it. There's no downside to it. Teuton's no longer a valid rival. Yeah, makes sense. We got what we needed from them. What in the world is going on over here? Muscovy having some pretender rebels, but it is still a Rurikovich, so guess they're just gonna do like a lateral move over there, I suppose. Just sitting here waiting for this truce to be over with Poland so I can go in and clap them cheeks again. First idea group, I think it only makes sense to go with a mill group, maybe go with like a quantity, and then maybe like a religious would be solid as well, though I don't know how far we're really gonna need to go, but I think quantity makes sense. We're already focused on mill. Subject play is so overpowered. Like, I don't understand how anybody could hate on it. It's so good. It's literally so good. Leave a comment down below. What do you guys think about subject play? Do you appreciate playing with subjects, or do you appreciate generally like just steamrolling, pouring everything for yourself? If so, why? I'd like to know why. I always like having those sort of conversations. I reserve the right to be wrong, after all, though I'm not wrong very often. Like, this is why I think it's strong. I have 18,000 men running around that I have no control over per se, but they're on my side. I have to do nothing, and they will just continue to steamroll my enemies. It's great. So they move their capital over here to Warsaw. Our truce with them is up in March, so a little bit less than a year. Poland declared war on Hungary, you say? That's interesting, because my truce with Poland literally just ended, and so I think I will attack them, and with the help of Muscovy, I think we can absolutely steamroll them. They're going to call Denmark in. I'm not too worried about it. I'm not going to call them in just now. This is an experiment right now. We're going to try this out. Now, can I still call them in? I can. So what I want to do is immediately rush the forts that I want to be taking, because otherwise they'll occupy them and they'll try to take them for themselves like sons of guns. Let's call you boys in, and they will join, and they will help us sieging down over here. Oh, no, no, no. Poland, what you doing, man? Look at them, man. Oh, 13,000. Yeah, they don't stand a chance. The war was over before it began, friends. There we go. That is 1 mil tech. Absolutely. Anytime you can stay ahead of time on mil tech, you should. You shouldn't even hesitate. Always stay ahead of time on mil if you can. It gives you that much of an edge against your enemies, and in a game where war is kind of important, you know, you might as well work for it. So it looks like our regency is over, and we have a 5-1-4. I'll take it. I'll take it. Generally, I'd like a little bit more of a even split, but it's 10 points total. 9 is generally considered average. I'll take 10. There we go. Even willing to give us a little ducat? Yes, I get 7 ducats. Heck yeah, bro. Worth. Very much worth. And just like that, this war is now over. Wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. That's a 100% peace deal for me. Very good. Always remember to embargo your rivals. Very important. Easy PP, plus it hurts their economy, so it's a win-win for everybody involved. Once the Cossack loyalty goes up, we're going to get quite a few claims down here in this area, so maybe we'll do a little bit of expanding that way. I don't really have any plans of it, but I mean, it doesn't hurt us to maybe expand a little bit that way. In the meantime, we're just trying to core everything up over here, because this war, we took a lot of clay, and we don't have a whole lot of admin gen. By the way, number 2, great power right now, only because a couple of people haven't embraced the Renaissance yet, but number 2. We started as, I believe, number 9. We're like 2 dev below the number 8, right on the 1444 start date. So I'll take the win. I will take the win. It'd be really cool if we could overtake Ming for number 1, even if it's just for a couple of years, just for bragging rights, right? Because you do get bragging rights. There's a thing in the game. You have like your score here, but then you also have your style point score, and that gives you bonus. What's the most like crazy thing you guys have ever done in this game? Like as far as like strange tag things, culture things, leave them in the comments below. I once did a Tengri Poland starting as Oirot. It was the most painful thing I've ever done. I did it live over on my stream at twitch.tv/ChewieShoot, which you should follow me if you haven't already, because I stream multiple days a week over there. But now we get some permanent claims down here, which is pretty cool. I don't know how much I'm actually going to be able to get down there, because they are indeed a March of the Ottomans. Feels bad, man. Our economy is absolute dog water, man. Like, we are barely breaking even. Like, we're just slightly negative. I have my army maintenance turned off, and we're just barely breaking even. It's absolutely painful. Kiev gives us 0.1 yearly patriarch authority. That is overpowered. It's about time we got in here. I don't think I have a claim on Riga, but I don't want to co-belligerent them because they'll call in all their friends. So I think I'm just going to attack them. I probably should have, like, you know, not attacked them right there because that was a dingus move because I didn't have my morale. This is fine. Our fort is slightly reinforced. Yikes. Yeah, I'm being a dingus, but it's okay. We've conquered Livonia, which will give us trade efficiency for 20 years. That's pretty solid. The sailors is overpowered. A restoration of Union CB on Poland. Didn't even know that was a thing. So I definitely feel like a dum-dum right now. But yeah, so we're going to do that. We're going to PU these guys. But yeah, in hindsight, if I would have known that I would have gotten this restoration of Union, I probably wouldn't have, like, you know, sliced and diced Poland into multiple different little pieces. But I don't know. I think Poland's the nation so nice that they named it twice. So, you know, I had to do it to them. Second idea group doesn't really matter a whole lot because I don't think we're going to be going much farther than this, but I think a Diplo idea like trade, since we're ahead, makes sense and it'll help us with our economy. We're not in a good spot for trade, but we might as well collect what we can where we can. Obviously, there's a ton of money that is leaving our node. Just taking the first idea in trade actually increased our income kind of significantly. The 20% trade power gave us quite a boost here, so maybe trade is the way to do it. Plus, trade quantity gives a nice policy of goods produced. Very useful. Goods produced basically just increases the amount of value in each trade node that is affected by that modifier. So it's never a bad one to stack up if you can. So I say it's about time we went for it. Before we do it though, we're gonna get rid of this guy. He's all right, but I'd rather have a young king, because if you abdicate him and we will lose the stab, that's fine. But we'll have a 20-year-old, which will be quite useful. If you don't know, whenever you peace out with a personal union, if your ruler dies before their opinion with you is positive, you will lose the PU. So that's why having a young ruler while you're doing this is very important, super important actually. It can be a complete deal breaker for us. So now we're going to click this button here, get our personal union, CB. We are going to call in these guys. I have rebels that just popped in my subject's land. Oh no, anyways. But yep, I probably should have turned on my maintenance before we did this, but it's really not a big deal. We're going to get these guys carpet siege down and get out of this war ASAP. We're actually at war, not running a deficit, and I get free war taxes. It's a good day. Look at that. We're making 3 ducats, 4.5 ducats a month. Man, I was losing like 7 per month, and I still have a ton of loans, but we're working towards paying it off. Trade ideas, man. It's overpowered. Never underestimate it. I totally did not realize that Hungary got PU'd by Bohemia. Okay. Are they loyal at least? They're pretty loyal. That's awesome. Well, good for you. AI does this so much, and I have no idea why. It just can't decide. Does it want to attack this little 1 stack, or does it not want to attack this little 1 stack? It says yes, no, yes, no, yes, no, yes, no, yes, no. So stupid. All right, just like that. 50 AE, not too bad. I can take lots of money from them. I will get quite a bit of it. We will get a PU on them. So they are now our subject. There's a bunch of little things you can do to improve relations with your subject. For now, I think that's the way to do it. Let's go ahead and take the prestige and see if we can get our relations positive with them before our leader dies, which should be fine. He's only 24. We can enforce a Commonwealth, which gives us governing capacity modifier for the rest of the game, which is useful because we've been over our governing capacity for quite a long time. You can get up to 200 with subjects. So we're definitely in the clear, you know, as long as we don't die within the next 6 months, knock on wood. I've had rulers die much younger than that for literally no reason, so hard to say. Ooh, so these guys are actually pretty loyal to the point where I am very much willing to enforce religion on them. And what that does is that will actually give us an extra boost to relations. We can convert for them. They should be able to convert on their own if their economy will allow it. I don't really know what their economy looks like. They have one. We could enforce culture on them. This will change their liberty desire by 25. It will cost us 270 diplo, but their primary culture will become Lithuanian. That's an idea. I don't think it actually is ever worth clicking that button, literally ever, but you know, it's funny at the very least. So at this point, we're just converting a bunch of land for Poland, making them a nice, beautiful, Orthodox Poland. I know you guys like to see that. The personal union under Lithuania. This timeline is absolutely #blessed. Halal. Poggers, as the kids say. I think it's pretty good. What do you guys think? Man, Bohemia has been such a great wrecking ball for us to use this whole campaign. Like, they have consistently been awesome the whole campaign. 10 out of 10 would use them again and again. So let's go ahead and click this button, start our golden era. No downside to it. That'll allow us to work through the rest of our idea groups, get tech a little bit sooner, and click the button. If you are able to, you should always influence your subjects. Always, always, always. It boosts trust, which it boosts loyalty, and it also boosts your relations with them. There's literally never a time where you shouldn't influence your subjects if you're able to. It also helps them by giving them extra mana. So extra mana is always good for everybody. Everybody benefits from that. So this is something that I love to do whenever I'm playing outside of the Holy Roman Empire and I'm at war with somebody who is inside of it, especially if I'm playing as Orthodox, because that's rare and you don't see it in the HRE. Always, always force religion on people. Always. Anytime. If I go to war with somebody and they call in, you know, Oldenburg, just force it on them. It's always funny. It's literally never not funny. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it on these guys because they're probably too big, but still, I will if I can. I can, yes, and we will. I don't benefit from it, but I'm going to do it anyways. And just like that, I will also take war reps and then all their money and wham bam. Okay, I don't know why it keeps going over 100. They changed something. Paradox, quit changing the way that works. Quit doing it. They do it every patch. They change it. I'm also going to integrate these guys now, and that will make our borders nice and perfect over here. No coalition will happen, so I do not care. And just like that, we're in a better spot than we were a minute ago. Ooh, Austria having a good game. Inheriting Burgundy. Not bad. Let's take a look at what's going on in the rest of Europe. England, just chilling, slowly settling. Ireland, right? Castile, allied to Aragon and Portugal. No Iberian wedding, though. And it can only fire before 1530, so we'll see how that goes. Pope Pius II in charge. They trust Amara over here at war with the Ottoman because they're attacking these guys here. France is getting these guys sorted out. A little bit of a slower game. They've consolidated most of France, but they haven't even attacked Brittany. They're allied to literally everybody and their brother, which is kind of crazy. Did they go Diplo? Okay. And Ottomans, slow. They've expanded in up here, but they haven't touched the Mamluks yet. Generally, by now, the Ottomans have at least gotten into the Levant. Look at that. Lithuania and the Ottomans, the most technologically advanced nations in the world. You love to see it. That's the power of the Golden Era. I genuinely think the Golden Era is the main driving force for why we're ahead of time right now. Tier 4, meritocratic recruitment every single time. Advisor cost is busted. It makes literally everything better. Look at this. We're making 14 ducats a month with our armies raised up. We're not built up to force limit, but I don't really need to be because I have subjects. We're not far off though. Only 11 years until we can click the button. Let's play a game called How Many Times Do I Need to Re-roll My Advisors to try to get a specific one. Right now I'm on 4, trying to get an Inquisitor, which is the missionary strength guy, but you know, who knows? Paradox giveth and Paradox taketh away. Damn, Muscovy just broke alliance for literally no reason. Let's hope that doesn't cause us issues. It very well may, but I don't know. I'm gonna try to keep converting stuff, and then you know, we're getting there. We'll probably take tech early. I don't really have any issue with it. I don't care if we spend a little bit of extra admin because I don't plan to continue this campaign. I do need to be careful though. Muscovy could easily attack me. 75 trust, and they still decided they wanted my provinces. Jerks, man. Absolute jerks. Because they want one of my province and one of my subjects' provinces. They decided they hate me now. Economy's popping off though. We got 23 ducats a month coming in. I didn't even realize these guys were not Orthodox. Oh my goodness, what am I doing? These Catholic Crusader states cannot be Catholic. They have an extra missionary. Why wouldn't I be converting them? Quantity is so overpowered. Look at that, 92,000 men we can land right now. 92,000. That would put us on a comparable path to the Ottomans. These guys went Inno offensive. Ooh, their sieges will be nutty with the guns of Urban. We don't have to take it, but I really want the innovativeness. That's why we want to do this, is the innovativeness. We'll click the button. We'll click this button. We will inherit Poland. We will obtain new missions, which is the PLC, the Polish missions, I assume. Gain Polish as an accepted culture for free, which is cool. Changes our name to the Commonwealth. So apparently it doesn't form the Commonwealth. We stay as Lithuania. Interesting. No, it changes us to the Commonwealth. Okay, I was gonna say that would be kind of cool. Here we go. We are now a, let's go with autocracy, shake things up a bit. We have a new mission tree here, and it is indeed the Polish one, which is cool. We can click some buttons here, get some really cheap advisors. Heck yeah, bro, look at that. That guy's an absolute beast. The Prussian Confederation, get us some claims, get us some claims, get us some claims and some discipline. Dude, what the heck? Oh, I mean, I'm not gonna say this is optimal because you could have been this way with 0 effort if you were Poland, but you know, it is what it is. It's a nice way to shake things up a bit. The Polish inheritance of Mazovia happens. Okay, I think that will... Okay, it already happened. So I think that's the one that moves our capital to Warsaw, if I recall. The Commonwealth will give us autonomy change. It's more permanent claims, you guessed it. And there's plenty of missions to go through that, but look at all of those claims. That is crazy. And there it is, the Uncommonwealth as Lithuania become the Commonwealth. Fun little run. I enjoyed it. You can get it done here well within about 50 years or so. So have you guys got the Uncommonwealth? Let me know how you guys did it in the comments below, as well as any suggestions for future content you'd like to see. I think we're going to be getting a little bit of Crusader Kings here within the next couple of weeks, so stay tuned for that. If you haven't already subscribed, I definitely recommend you do it because there's a lot of content you're missing out on if you are not subscribed. As I said, I have a second channel, Chewy Shoot. It's linked in the description below, as well as my Twitch stream, which I do stream multiple days a week. If you enjoy the video, make sure you leave a like, and if you want to support me, my Patreon is linked below. But that's all I got for you for today. Take care, everybody, and stay cool.